This video delves into 5 of Australia's most disturbing shark attacks in 2023 and 2024. These real stories highlight the terrifying encounters between humans and one of the ocean's top predators. From attacks on surfers to swimmers caught off guard, we'll detail the moments that turned ordinary days into nightmares. Stay with us as we uncover the chilling facts behind these shark attacks that shocked the nation. It was about 10 a.m. on May 13, 2023, when 46-year-old Simon Bacanello went surfing at Walker's Rock Beach on the Eyre Peninsula in South Australia. Simon was a much-loved teacher at Elliston Area School. He had moved to Elliston in January to teach math, science, and physical education. The community adored him for his dedication and positive attitude. That Saturday morning, Simon joined a group of about a dozen surfers. The weather was clear and the waves were sound. But what started as a regular surfing session quickly turned into a nightmare. A great white shark attacked Simon. The shark was seen thrashing in the water. Witnesses described Simon's surfboard as tombstoning, a term used when a board stands upright in the water because the surfer is being pulled down. Simon fought to return to the surface, but the shark was relentless. One of the surfers, Jaden Miller, saw the terrifying scene unfold. He and the others were about 500 meters from shore. Jaden yelled for an ambulance, but he knew someone on the beach had already called for help. The shark attacked Simon 3 times, dragging him underwater each time. The sight of the shark and the struggle was shocking, leaving Jaden and the others in disbelief. Simon had warned nearby swimmers about the shark before he was attacked. Among them was a 13-year-old boy. Simon's last moments showed his selflessness, putting others' safety before his own. Emergency services arrived quickly. Boats and helicopters from local patrols, the Water Operations Unit, Paul Air Crews, State Emergency Services members, and community volunteers joined the search. Superintendent Paul Barr, in charge of the Eyre and Western Local Service area, thanked the local community for their support. He noted how difficult it was since it involved one of their own, but praised their strength and willingness to assist. By Monday, the search teams had found pieces of a wetsuit and small bits of white polystyrene, likely from Simon's surfboard. The surfboard had a significant bite mark in the middle, confirming the severity of the attack. These items were sent for forensic analysis. Despite extensive efforts, Simon's body was not found. Searchers believed that any remains were more likely to drift ashore rather than out to sea. The community of Elliston, a small town with less than 400 residents located about 600 kilometers west of Adelaide, was deeply affected by Simon's death. The city is known for its beautiful beaches and, unfortunately, its high number of sharks. Simon's family released a statement expressing their gratitude for the support from the Elliston community, family, and friends. They asked for privacy as they processed the tragic loss. The community also laid floral tributes at the beach where Simon was attacked, showing their respect and sorrow. Simon was not just a teacher, but a significant part of the community. Chad Fleming, the principal of Elliston Area School, remembered Simon for his enthusiasm and positive impact on students and staff. Simon's warm and encouraging approach to teaching made him a favorite among his students. The school provided well-being support for students and staff to help them cope with the loss. The Department for Education, in conjunction with the school's well-being team and the Social Work Incident Support Services (SWIS) team, offered assistance. Simon's colleagues and students mourned his loss deeply. They remembered him as a dedicated and passionate teacher who always went the extra mile for his students. His enthusiasm for learning and life made a lasting impression on everyone he met. The community came together to support each other during this difficult time. The search for Simon continued for several days after the attack. Local patrols scoured the beaches, and boats and helicopters covered the waters. Despite their efforts, further evidence still needed to be found. Superintendent Paul Barr noted that the search efforts would continue for a few more days, but the focus would eventually shift to a report for the coroner. This tragic event also brought attention to the presence of great white sharks. Port Lincoln High School teacher Michael Scheffler, who often saw sharks off the coast, shared a recent encounter with a massive great white shark. The shark surfaced when he and his friends were in a small boat off Port Drummond. It was curious and gentle, but enormous. Seeing the shark's dorsal fin out of the water was eerie, prompting them to leave the area quickly. Simon's death marked the first fatal shark attack at Walker's Rock Beach in 2 decades. Despite the tragic event, the community has always been conscious of the inherent risks. Jonas Wolford, a local charter boat operator, noted that while shark sightings are frequent, fatal attacks remain exceedingly rare. On February 4, 2023, 16-year-old Stella Berry, a student from Shenton College, tragically lost her life in a shark attack while swimming in the Swan River near Fremantle, Western Australia. Stella was a vibrant girl who loved the water, and her sudden death shocked her family, friends, and the community. It was a typical summer afternoon, and Stella rode jet skis with her friends. They were enjoying the day and everything seemed normal. Stella spotted a pod of dolphins in the river. Excited, she jumped into the water to swim with them. This innocent act turned deadly when a bull shark attacked her. Stella suffered severe injuries to her leg. Despite the immediate efforts of her friends and paramedics, she could not be saved and was pronounced dead at the scene. This tragic incident was the first fatal shark attack in the Swan River in 100 years. The last recorded attack occurred in 1923. Stella's death brought immense sorrow to her family, who described her as a joyful and caring person. Her parents, Matt and Sophie Berry, released a statement expressing their devastation and profound shock. They talked about her love for art and how she was a dear friend to many. Stella had big dreams and planned to live in Europe after finishing school. She was a loving sister and the best daughter her parents could have hoped for. Stella's friends, who were with her during the attack, were left traumatized. They remembered her as brilliant, kind, and full of life. Laura Connolly, one of her closest friends, described Stella as the sweetest and smartest girl she knew. Another friend, Tegan MacArthur, said Stella's death doesn't feel real and recalled how they were in contact with her just a day before the tragic event. The attack occurred near the Fremantle Traffic Bridge, a location not known for shark attacks. Dr. Vanessa Perrotta, a wildlife scientist, pointed out that sharks were rare in that part of the river. However, it was the breeding season for bull sharks, which might explain their presence in the estuary. Bull sharks move between fresh and saltwater environments and often enter rivers during breeding. Authorities quickly responded to the incident. Fisheries Minister Don Punch confirmed that the shark involved was likely a bull shark, although investigations were still ongoing. He emphasized that shark attacks are rare and the risk of such incidents is shallow. In 2022, there was only one fatal shark attack in the entire country, and historical data shows that the mortality rate from shark bites in Australia is less than 1 person per year. Despite the low risk, Stella's death raised concerns about shark activity in the Swan River. The Western Australian government announced plans to implement a swimming enclosure in the river to protect swimmers. The Department of Primary Industries and Regional Development, DPIRD, began tagging adult bull sharks in the Swan and Canning River estuaries to track their movements and volume. They also plan to deploy acoustic receivers to provide real-time notifications of shark activity. Experts like Dr. Leonardo Guida from the Australian Marine Conservation Society stressed the importance of learning more about sharks and their ecosystems to prevent future attacks. He suggested improving public awareness and education about these animals could help mitigate the risks. Dr. Guida also mentioned fishing practices and dumping fish waste near swimming areas could attract sharks. The incident also highlighted the need for better safety measures in the river. City of Fremantle Mayor Hannah Fitzhardinge admitted a lack of awareness about sharks in the river. She suggested the city consider installing shark barriers to protect popular swimming spots. Mayor Fitzhardinge herself had been swimming near the incident site just days before the attack and was shocked by the news. Stella's tragic death also brought back memories of her innovative spirit. In 2017, she designed a shark-free ocean pool for Perth's Cottesloe Beach as part of a school project. The design was praised for its creativity and attention to safety, although it was never implemented. This project showed Stella's commitment to keeping people safe in the water, a reminder in light of the circumstances of her death. As the investigation continued, DNA tests confirmed that a bull shark was responsible for the attack. This evidence was prepared for the coroner, and authorities focused on expanding their shark tagging program. The aim was to gather more data on shark movements and improve safety measures. On November 1, 2023, around 10:20 a.m., Todd Gendel surfed near Granite's Beach, south of Streaky Bay on the Eyre Peninsula in South Australia. Todd was a 55-year-old experienced surfer who loved traveling across Australia, and was known for always seeking the perfect wave. The beach was lively that day. Surfers and beachgoers enjoyed the water. Granite Beach is famous for its waves, but is also known for its shark sightings. While Todd paddled back out after catching a wave, something terrible happened. A 13-foot great white shark appeared out of nowhere and knocked Todd off his surfboard. Witnesses watched in horror as the shark circled back and grabbed him. Jack Martin, who was on the nearby cliffs, witnessed the entire incident. He observed that Todd was knocked off his board by the shark, which then circled back, grabbed him, thrashed him around, and pulled him under the water. Everyone on the beach was shocked and scared. Other surfers and people on the beach could not believe what they saw. Local surfer Jeff Schmucker immediately got on his jet ski to try to find Todd. He found Todd's surfboard floating in the water with a big bite mark. Jeff described the shark as the length of a sedan car, weighing between 2,200 and 3,000 pounds. Despite his and other rescuers' efforts, there was no sign of Todd. Emergency services were quickly called to the scene. Police, volunteers, and other emergency responders began a search operation, which was challenging because of the ocean conditions. Superintendent Paul Barr from the South Australia Police stated that searching for the shark that attacked Todd would be reasonably futile due to the great white shark's extensive roaming areas. The search operation involved police water operations, Paul Air, and the State Emergency Service, SES. They continued to search for several days, but they only found parts of Todd's surfboard and a piece of his wetsuit. Despite their hard work, they could not find Todd's body. The strong waves and currents made the search even more challenging. Todd's family was heartbroken by the loss. They released a statement expressing their gratitude to everyone involved in the search, thanking the police and volunteers for their dedicated efforts in recent days. They also expressed appreciation for his friends and the local community of Streaky Bay, who had the chance to know Todd. The community of Streaky Bay was deeply affected by the tragedy. Many locals knew Todd through surfing. Marty Goody, a resident and longtime surfer, remarked that he had been surfing in the area for 40 years and had always been aware of sharks, but there seemed to be more of them now. He described the incident as unfortunate and very tragic. This attack was the second fatal shark encounter in South Australian waters that year, following the case of Simon Bacanello. On December 28, 2023, 15-year-old Kai Cowley surfed at Ethel Beach on the York Peninsula in South Australia. It was around 1:30 p.m. and the sky was overcast. Kai and his father, Tim Cowley, were enjoying a father-son surf trip 280 kilometers from their home in Adelaide. Kai loved surfing. He started joining the Micro Groms Junior Surf Club when he was 7. As he got older, he competed in senior competitions. Surfing was a big part of his life. He spent many weekends chasing waves. Kai's father cherished these surf trips with his son, watching him ride the waves with skill and passion. That day, as Kai surfed, Tim watched from the shore. The moment's joy turned to horror when a giant shark attacked Kai. Tim immediately called for emergency services. Despite their quick response, they couldn't save Kai. He died on the beach, leaving his father and the community in shock. South Australia Premier Peter Malinauskas addressed the situation, noting that there had been 11 fatal shark attacks in the state's waters since 2000. The recent spike in attacks was alarming. However, he admitted that there was little the government could do to make beaches safer outside Adelaide. Shark expert Andrew Fox explained the increase in attacks as challenging to understand. He mentioned that overcast conditions, like those on the day of Kai's attack, could make sharks more likely to attack. The dark water might make it harder for sharks to see clearly, leading to more attacks. After Kai's death, the community came together to support his family. On January 22, 2024, hundreds of mourners gathered at Seaford Beach, known as the Bowl, to remember Kai. More than 500 guests, including family, friends, and members of the surfing community, attended the service. The beach was filled with flowers, shells, and photos of Kai. A wooden bench facing the water was decorated with tributes, including a note from Kai's surfer friends. Forever in our hearts, Kai. It has been a pleasure sharing the waves with you over the years, and I will miss you so much. The service was held outdoors. Attendees wore surf or football club shirts or casual beach attire. The local council issued a notice to inform locals about the large turnout, asking for understanding and kindness from the family and their guests. Tim Cowley spoke at the funeral, sharing memories of his son. He expressed the cruelty of losing his son at such a young age, reflecting on the peace he sought from knowing how much his son had achieved in his 15 years and how he had spread kindness to everyone around him. He ended with a heartfelt hope to see his son again someday. Tim described Kai as an adventurous kid who loved spending time with his friends and family. He fondly recalled their surf trips, the joy of watching his son surf and their conversations. He expressed how much he would miss their time driving to the beach, surfing together, and talking about their waves. Kai's younger brother Jet also spoke at the service, describing Kai as the best big brother ever. He expressed his love for Kai and the pain of losing him, sharing how much he would miss hanging out and learning cool things from him. At the end of the service, attendees sprinkled sand collected from 41 surf locations across the state into the ocean before forming a guard of honor. The Seaview Road board riders planned a paddle-out event at the Bowl in Seaford, allowing the surfing community to pay their respects. Kai's death has left a void in the lives of those who knew him. Friends and family remembered his smile and zest for life. His aunt Lauren Barley remarked that Kai's smile and joy for life were contagious. The increase in shark attacks in South Australia this year has raised many questions. Why have there been more attacks? Are changes in the environment affecting shark behavior? Could human activities be influencing these incidents? These questions remain unanswered, and the community seeks solutions to prevent further tragedies. It was about 7:45 p.m. on January 29, 2024, when 29-year-old microbiologist Lauren O'Neill took a short swim near a private pier in Elizabeth Bay, Sydney Harbor. The sun was setting, and the temperature was still high. Although shark nets did not protect it, Lauren often swam in this area. She loved the water and felt comfortable swimming close to shore. That evening, her routine swim turned into a nightmare. As Lauren swam near the boat, she suddenly felt a sharp pain in her right leg. A bull shark had bitten her. The pain was intense and she screamed for help. Her neighbors heard her cries and rushed to the scene. One of Lauren's neighbors, Michael Porter, was the first to respond. He was in his apartment when he heard a faint yell for help. Looking out his window, he saw Lauren struggling to climb a ladder out of the water. Her leg was limp, and there was a lot of blood. Michael quickly called emergency services while running to assist her. Georgia Singleton and her wife, Fiona Crago, a veterinarian, also heard Lauren's screams. Fiona had just bought new bandages that day, and she quickly grabbed them as they rushed to help. When they arrived, they saw the severity of Lauren's injury. Fiona immediately applied a tourniquet to stop the bleeding. Her quick actions were critical in saving Lauren's life. Lauren was losing a lot of blood. Neighbors threw towels and blankets to keep her warm, while Fiona stabilized her leg. The scene was chaotic, but everyone worked together to help. Lauren was in shock but remained conscious and cooperative. Emergency services, including paramedics and a rescue helicopter, arrived quickly. Paramedics provided further medical assistance and transported Lauren to St. Vincent's Hospital. The medical team at the hospital, including specialist surgeons, worked through the night to save Lauren's leg. The surgery was successful, and Lauren's leg was saved from amputation. Lauren's family and friends were notified, and they rushed to the hospital to be by her side. In the days following the attack, Lauren released a statement through St. Vincent's Hospital. She thanked her heroic neighbors for their critical assistance and the emergency services' swift actions. She also expressed her gratitude to the public for their support and kindness. Lauren's mother, Petra, was incredibly grateful to Fiona Crago. She wrote online about how much it meant the community was there to help her daughter at such a critical moment. Petra praised Fiona's medical knowledge and quick thinking, which undoubtedly saved Lauren's life. The attack on Lauren O'Neill shocked the local community. Elizabeth Bay is an affluent area near the iconic Sydney Opera House and the Central Business District. While shark sightings are common in Sydney Harbor, attacks are rare. The last reported shark attack in the harbor was in 2009. Bull sharks are known for their aggressive and territorial nature. They are large and usually found in warm, shallow waters, but can survive in fresh water and swim up rivers. Bull sharks, great whites, and tiger sharks are responsible for most recorded unprovoked attacks on humans. In the wake of the attack, shark scientists from the Department of Primary Industries examined Lauren's injury and confirmed that it was consistent with a bull shark bite. Experts reiterated that locals should stay out of the harbor on hot days and at dawn or dusk when sharks are more active. Lauren's recovery has been a slow but steady process. She has moved out of the intensive care unit and is now recovering in a hospital ward. Her family has requested privacy as she focuses on her recovery. Lauren has thanked the specialist surgical teams who worked tirelessly to save her leg and ensure her likely full recovery.